Hello, friends. This is Jay Reginator. I'm the chair of the Board of Trustees for the University of Illinois Wesley Foundation, and it is my privilege to invite you to share with us in another episode of Where Are They Now? And my guest today is Kenny Smallhorn. So, Kenny, could you share with us a little bit about where you are and what you're doing?
And thank you for having me. I currently live in Atlanta, so in May I finished my Master of Divinity at Candler School of Theology. That was a 3-year program. Um, so I finished that. I currently work as a local pastor in the North Georgia Conference. So I'm serving a small church out in the country. It's a historic church. We are celebrating the 175th anniversary this year. So I'm doing that, and this fall I'm planning on going back for CPE, which is clinical pastoral education. So that will be at Grady Hospital, which is a large hospital, trauma focused in downtown Atlanta. So I'm looking forward to that. And I live here with my wife, Eva. So we actually got married at Wesley in 2022, and she's working at Northside Hospital in the NICU.
Excellent. So, what years were you a student at Wesley, and how were you involved as a student?
I was involved with Wesley and a student from 2017 to 2020. Um, During that time, I was a peer minister. So I got involved as a peer minister pretty quickly. And then along the way, I joined with the Illini Fighting Hunger. I was kind of the liaison between IFH and the Wesley student group.
Do you have a story from your time at Wesley, whether that's just a funny story about you or somebody else, or maybe an experience that you had that was really important to you that you'd like to share?
Uh, I've got a ton of stories of laughing really hard at Wesley. I feel like that was a hallmark of my experience was just enjoying the different things that we are able to do. I remember one Wednesday, and it was really impactful for me to do communion, like participate in communion each week during midweek service. And I remember one Wednesday where the bread had just been thawed a little too long and it hardened, but we didn't know it until we got to the point where Pastor Julie raised it and tried to break the bread, but it had thawed so long that it was so too hard to break. And it took a few minutes to just try and get the bread open. And in the middle of the bread, there was just a little piece that was edible. We had to really break it down, and we pretty much just had crumbs for communion that week, but it got the job done. But it was really, I'd never seen communion kind of go sideways like that. And to watch Pastor Julie adjust on the fly, but also kind of holding in the giggles while doing that was uh, something I remember.
What would you say is a way that Wesley helped you grow in your faith?
I think that Wesley helped me look at communion, certainly what type of bread we're using. I have a lot of thoughts about that now. But I think the significance of sacrament is something that I really grew while I was at Wesley. So I can't really articulate how I understood communion before I came to Wesley, but I had always seen it as a very personal thing, something that was only between you and God, and I never really saw the community aspect of it. And I don't even think that's really how I was taught growing up, but I think it was just something that I had internalized in some way. And so being a part of Wesley and doing communion more regularly, so, weekly for the most part, doing it weekly, doing it with other people in a more informal setting, like in the lounge, um, and really taking the time to slow down, to taste the bread, to have time after communion to talk about things, and also to hear the idea of the communion of saints, that we are participating in communion with all the people who have taken it before, all the people who are taking it in that same moment, all the people who will take it in the future. And I started to see it as that communal practice, as that participation with each other and participation with God. So I think that I really grew in my understanding of sacrament through Wesley.
Yeah. And it sounds like that's probably going to be an important part of your ministry.
Absolutely. And it's something I hope to, share with others as I go forward.
Was there a way that Wesley impacted you the most?
During Friday with Friends and International Coffee House and the different events that we would do, I mostly heard this from Pastor Julie and Ave Rivera. They would comment to each other. They would look at the group of people that had assembled to eat at Wesley, and they would say, "This is what beloved community looks like." And that has stuck with me since they first made that observation, and since they reminded us throughout my time at Wesley that this is what beloved community looks like, having people of all different types of people from different places and different backgrounds and different identities, and coming together at the table and just sharing a meal and being a part of the community and being with each other and present. And that is what beloved community looks like, to just grow with each other and to form those connections and those relationships. So I think along those lines, something that Wesley has impacted me with is the model that it offers of how to listen to young people and how to incorporate young people into the life of the church. And I think that is a challenge for any church anywhere, is how to take some of the big ideas, some of the different ways that young people might present themselves in the church community, and to uh, take take that and use it in a meaningful way.
Is there anything else that you'd like to share with the alumni about your vocation, anything about your family, or anything you think they would want to know about you and where you are right now?
Yeah, I had felt a call to ministry for most of my life, and as I became college age, I was starting to learn about different avenues for ministry that were not just the traditional, you preach every Sunday in a church. Um, so, like in the UMC, that would be elder. Uh, and I had never really understood what a deacon was until I came to Wesley, and I had plenty of opportunity to explore the role of a deacon. And so now I'm on the deacon track for my candidacy in the UMC, and I really attribute that to Wesley, learning what it means to incorporate compassion and justice, and to make that a focus of your ministry. So I'm in the North Georgia conference now. I did transfer earlier this year, and I plan on staying here for the foreseeable future. Partly because Eva, my wife, works at Northside Hospital, and she really enjoys her job, and would like to stay there as well. So I'm looking forward to pursuing ordination on the deacon track.
Awesome. Well, Kenny, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to spend with us today, and to give us an update on your life. And if you're watching and you're interested in joining in and doing a "Where Are You Now" video, you're welcome to reach out to our Director of Advancement and Engagement, or to our Senior Pastor Director, David Fuqua, or you can let me know that as well.